fellow citizens of all nations, sex at dawn. We will going to answer here the question, what woman wants? It's a question many people have but don't have this answer. And why, what's the reason of that answer isn't obvious, etc. We're going to answer these questions as well here. So let's start. We did not descend from apes. We are apes. That's a very important thing to understand, by the way. We did not descend from the apes. We are the apes. Now, deep conflict rage at the heart of modern sexuality. Our cultivated ignorance is devastating. Why is our cultivated ignorance devastating? Because we have wrong perspective toward our sexuality. We take things way too seriously. We abide to these social norms. And what is even more interesting is that people that would say that I'm atheist or I'm non-believer still would comply to these rules. Mostly, today, the main thing that drives this rule is religion, by the way. Religions, and these atheists will also bow down their head to this traditional family structure, traditional ways, which is hardly, which is connected to agriculture era as well, because religion and agriculture brought these things together, especially modern religions, what we have today, these, moralistic religions. Now, there is a very important distinction we're going to make here. We're going to differentiate hunter-gatherer sex and agriculturistic sex. In general, these two eras for humanity, and especially for women, this split was very devastating. And agriculture is when female fell from grace, and females start to become more suppressed than males. This is a very important thing to understand. Now, while hunter-gatherer sex had been modeled on an idea of sharing and complementarity, early agriculturistic sex was voyeuristic, repressive, homophobic, and focused on reproduction. How these things played off? Because we can still see modern day what's going on. Like, why is it that in every single culture there has been affairs? Why on earth that happens? Affairs used to, and perverted stuff used to happen in heavily Christian world, heavy Islamic world, heavily Judaistic world, heavily, I don't know what specific, what's the name of the specific culture, but samurai era of Japan, where like price you had to pay for cheating essentially was to be cut off. And Yamamoto Tsunemoto, by the way, in Hakakure mentions some of the cheatings that happened during that time, where how women would go there and how males also would greatly initiate that affair when price was essentially your head for that thing. And this was used to go in Europe as well. And suppression, an idea of bastards, by the way. Who is essentially a bastard son or bastard child? The bastard child in religions, not only religion but culture, understand this way. The bastard is a child that is born without agreement of a god. Civilization is built largely on erotic energy that has been blocked, concentrated, accumulated, and redirected. Now, this is very important as well, because this is true. Civilization is built largely on erotic energy that has been blocked, concentrated, accumulated, and redirected. This is very true. Like, even Nikola Tesla talks about these things, which is, by the way, his own research and ideas are not mentioned in this book, which is very bad, but you can find it out as well, how he read it. Now, Homo sapiens evolved to be shamelessly, undeniably, inescapably sexual. We evolved to be shamelessly, undeniably, inescapably sexual. This is who we are. This is who we are, and there are so many proof of these things in every single culture throughout centuries, and book will present these things with some of humor. One can choose what to do, but not what to want. Like, in romantic world, it's like understood this way, where people that are bloody romantics. You cannot alter your heart. Okay, same thing is the same thing says this saying. Like, you can choose what to do, but not what to want. Your heart wants different thing, and this is a real problem many marriages face today. It's like, it's not something that just is not real. And now in evolutionary, psychology, etc., there is this view of, our ancient, basically hunter-gatherer period, to have been like really like dog-eating dog world, like you will eat or you will die. Like you have no choice, like kill or be killed. Essentially, this is the kind of choice you have, and war and things going on. It's a very oppressive period. But it is like there's serious questions toward that idea, like why that idea is inspired. And as well, there is this thing in evolutionary psychology, basically, that like the common view is that female is like the creature of a female is idealized, essentially, just like would be the mother of Jesus, Virgin Mary. It's like, or like a female was always used to be connected with nature. It is during, by the way, agricultural era, not hunter-gatherer era. Like female idealization, and same roots are heavily into this. Science essentially it's went to in this ideology, and Darwin has, by the way, this thing here: the female, with rarest exception, is less eager than the male. Now we use identical words to signify very different behaviors. It's same with marriage. Like even in everyday thing, like we talk about something right now, but that something what we're talking about is not the same thing. For example, let's say we are discussing some sort of thing, and to me that what we are discussing has value of a cent essentially, or nothing essentially. It's just not valuable. But for you, what you are discussing, it's insanely valuable. To you, it's a gold. It's a fucking brilliant. So you attach that thing a lot more important, and what you are talking about is completely different because we are not on the same thing. We are not talking about by words. We are talking about the same thing, but in reality, we give different sort of value to that thing. So we are not on the same page by definition already. Now there is this thing to say this in your mind. Like women and men should not marry, for love is like a season. It comes and it goes. It comes and goes. Poverty is the invention of civilization. Social status, essentially. It's like poverty is like you are just. It's simply social status. In agricultural era, it was like what was that? You were just like Earth was your home, essentially, just like we say, first of all nations. Like you would go anywhere. There were no territorial things. Oh, this land is specifically mine, and divide, like how we divide right now our little anthill, and etc. So, and it's social status as well. And what it mentions that what type of punishments societies used for the male and female that would not abide by its rules or by laws. For example, in Greek culture, if men refused to marry and create a family at a certain age and did not want to essentially get married, this is how it was forced to males, by the way, during many periods of time. That type of male would be thrown out of the tribe, would be thrown out, seriously, like for real. You can read Ancient City, by the way. It's a very interesting book. But, the male will be thrown out of the tribe because he refused to get married. And that will be a form of punishment. Now, I hope I don't need to talk about the form of punishments women would face in different cultures if you decided to, just have fun with another male and etc. What kind of punishments you would face. So being stoned to death, like, man. In modern day, there are like many places where men and women will, especially mostly women, will be stoned for that type of things if they, they express their sexuality, or if somebody were to find sex toys in their house, they would be stoned essentially, even today. So. He is a barbarian and thinks that the customs of his tribe and island are the laws of nature. This is very interesting. He is barbarian and thinks that the custom of his tribe and island are the laws of nature. It is a very important thing because we usually assume that customs of our bloody island is a law of nature. No, it's not. Like there's this thing, by the way, you have to understand as a listener to this conversation here. The island, basically, the country we are born in, place we are born in, this is our small island. It's whatever the customs of this island is, and whatever custom of this tribe is, it's not the law of nature. And we're going to answer the question what women wants according to nature, and what men wants, not by the custom laws of this island. Okay, so remember this thing. Okay? He's a barbarian and thinks that the custom of his tribe and island are the laws of nature. It's not the laws of nature, the customs of the tribe, etc. We are on earth to fart around and don't let anybody tell you any different. Now, thing is that most likely during hunter-gatherer period, there was a plenty resources there, like food, etc. So most of the time, what males would do, for example, would be to just, and just humans would do it, would be like fuck around and sleep and just eat and gather some things. That was. And thing is that it's time to drop this thing. We were essentially during hunter-gatherer period cooperative breeders. Not the way we are today. We were cooperative breeders. Now, everybody has a story to tell. So does everybody. And the story told by human body is rated as 3x. Strength of the drive determines the force required to suppress it. Our little small island wants to believe us is that, okay, there is no, like we were always monogamous. Monogamy is natural thing. But when it's in reality most unnatural thing for human beings. Most unnatural thing for human beings. The monogamy itself is the most unnatural thing ever. For simple as that. Now, but we are told that it's natural, when it's not natural. And we are shamed if we don't comply to these things. And like, by the way, society has specific directives what you have to do if your partner crosses some lines and does these things. Like, the evolutionary psychologists tend to like pay attention to, for example, evil part of humanity. Or the greed and etc. is part of human. So love is part of human nature. Why in 3 parts of the world the divorce rates skyrocket, where there is economical freedom, etc.? Because in suppressed cultures, females have not much to do, so they cannot really divorce if they want to, because they have no rights by default. They cannot. Not only they cannot get work to do jobs, but they're suppressed. It should be suppressed, and in surprisingly large part of the world, females are truly suppressed. Like West's situation is changed, obviously, but many parts of the planet, like women are surprisingly suppressed. These 2 things, just like there is individual interest versus society interest, there is this thing what society dictates and what our biology demands, our wants, essentially, what we want. And understand this thing: your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of lives longing for itself. This is a very important thing. Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of lives longing for itself. I think this statement still stays true, that civilization is built largely on erotic energy that has been blocked